Lemon Amiga presents a Playguide video review. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Once again, welcome to another Lemon Amiga play guide and review. This time we'll be checking out Alien Breed 3D AGA, and this was released in 1995. Before we start, we're going to check out a demo which appeared as an Amiga format exclusive cover disc. This was an early demo released I think in 1995, and you can see in this demo we have things in the background and things appearing to be floating in the sky, and we also have actual aliens from the Alien franchise represented in the game, and you can see blood on the walls and different things like that. So there are tons of open world landscapes in this demo, and you also get to hear a tone in the background as well. You can also see the words vitality and ammunition are printed on the screen, and that means that you can see what they are, and you can also see a basic layout around the edges with what looks like a kind of a dark seed, kind of a surround atmosphere, again reminding us of H.R. Giger. Now moving on to the actual Amiga version, I'll be playing this with the 040, and you can see the WHDload comes with a few options. I'm going to turn on unlimited shots and enable music as well on the end part. The game begins, as you can see it's level 1 called The Gate, and right at the beginning we can enter a password to change the level, and we can also check out the control options as well. From here we get to see the various keyboard controls that we need, and this game came out on a CD32 as well, and hopefully all of these controls can be put onto a CD32 gamepad. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is switch on anti-micro and remap all of those controls to my PS2 gamepad. You can also take a look at those in-game credits. You can see game designed and all the code was created by Andy Clitheroe. Waste no more time. Now that we've remapped the controller, let's start a new game. And right at the start it gives us a storyline. We're on a kind of alien planet and the base has been shot up, and it's our job to go in there and clean it up. This is actually the third time that I've tried to record footage of me trying to play this game, and each time I ran out of ammunition. And the first time I went through it gung-ho and blasted heck out of everybody. The second try I tried to be light on the ammunition, and with the third try I was ultra conservative with the ammo, and still I ran out on the first level. So I'm going to just switch on the cheat, and that means that we're never going to run out of ammunition, and that's a great thing because I don't want to be playing this first level for the fourth time, and it's horrible to run backwards constantly looking for ammo. On the first level we don't get an atmospheric tone, but what we do get is footsteps echoing down a hallway, and you can see various ammo boxes dotted around. You'll be expected to collect all of those in the game, and remember where they are and backtrack. And I think the first level, just like Fears, is the most bland in the entire game. It doesn't give us a clue what we're supposed to do, it just tells us what we can't do, and hopefully it will fall over those side chambers, and it means hopefully we can look around this corner and see a switch above us. We can't climb, but we can go up steps, so that means that we can activate that switch. So we can't look up and down either, but we can use the environment around us to ascend that landscape. And I think this is a 2.5D game, and that means that it appears to be 3D, but in fact it isn't. In all of my warm-up tries, I tried to get into this lake, and I think it has a weapon in there, and this kind of pool, I couldn't even get out of it, so I think that's a trap. So with the pool, definitely leave that alone, and I'll be trying to avoid that in this playthrough. Alien Breed 3D AGA was developed by Team 17, but for some reason they didn't publish it. All the hard work was done by Team 17, but they actually published it with Ocean. Maybe they thought they'd get a better publishing deal and things like that. But you can see we can pick up keys and they will highlight on the bottom of that screen. Having played this first level now a few times, it helps to memorise it. And then you know exactly where everything is. That's now a red, and you can see collecting that vitality doesn't really do much to our health, so the aim of this game is to survive by not getting hit. And you definitely can't rely on those health collectibles like Namak 4 that we saw. In this game they give us a really weedy bit of energy. I argue that having memorised this level to perfection, it's not actually possible to go wrong, and you don't even need to go backwards to collect the ammo either. But I'm just sick of playing this first level, so thank you, that's the level completed. And that's finally the last time I'm going to need to see that, and then at the end it just takes us back to the title screen again and gives us another password. Taking my life in my hands, I jump into the teleporter, and with a hop, skip and a jump I now appear miraculously on level 2. This is the very first time I've ever seen this level. This is the very first time I've actually sat here and played the game, so now that I'm not having to restart it, let's see if we can progress. And sneaking around corridors and hear those woo-wolf noises gives this game a tremendous atmosphere. We start off with a basic pulse rifle, but now we've just upgraded to a double barrel shotgun, and that means that we get an animation on the screen. That's a sprite that moves around just like Fears, and so we'll still need to watch out for the vitality on this playthrough, and definitely if I start making mistakes it's easy to die even with limited ammunition. As you go deeper and deeper into that maze, you'll also find new monsters to tackle as well, and those reminding us again of Doom. those cacodemons or whatever they are explode with a nice effect. Then you might notice various shading effects going on. This is an AGA game, so you will see some great textures, and I think they've taken this at least to another dimension higher up than Fears, because with Fears everything looks a bit samey, and in this game you really think that you're playing something like a PS1 game where the level is sprawling and nothing really looks the same throughout it. Unfortunately, just like Fears, it's got that same dodgy aiming mechanic where you're not quite sure whether you hit something or not. Unfortunately, the enemies can hit us whether we like it or not, and if they are on a lower level than us, they're going to hit us and we can't even hit them. So right at the bottom of these steps it's being blocked by an enemy, unfortunately, so unless I decide to climb up those steps I'm gonna die. So there are one or two issues with this game. Definitely if you fall down the wrong way and get trapped, then it's an easy game over. So let's try that again. It takes us all the way back to the start of it again. I think we've got unlimited lives and we can replay it as many times as we like. Unfortunately, we've only got the one life in this game. Great feeling to go gung-ho through the enemies having failed the level. We know where they are, so now let's try that again, and hopefully this time be aware of those traps. And again, if something is at the foot of the steps and we can't shoot it because we can't look down, that's pretty difficult, and that's one of the things that spoils this game. It's one of the few things that spoils this game. The other one, well, the other two being the lack of music and the low definition quality of these graphics, because these I think aren't particularly 1x1, and that's because it does run on an Amiga 1200, so it was playable and it was fast enough to run it on an unexpanded 1200 or a CD32. But I think of all the games that could have really done with a graphic enhancement and higher res, this game definitely deserves it. Alien Breed 3D 2 I think came in a higher resolution, and this one, unfortunately, we get this screen size, we can't make it any larger, but you can see the detail involved means the landscape is huge, and it means we can explore it and find all those different chambers. Some of them you have to duck under and things like that. I'm not sure if you can duck in this game, but you can certainly squeeze through gaps. Unfortunately, it looks like we've died in that final room. We're right at the end of that level, and let's see where we reappear. Has it taken us all the way to the end of it? Well, it doesn't appear to have done that. And you can see there is another gun. I'm not sure if I've just collected that, and yep, we've got one ammunition for it. And again, I'm not sure if this is the same level or the next one, but whatever, we've now got rebound bombs. just like Namak 4, they will now rebound, and you can see they are very handy for those bosses. And I'm not sure which switch it is to activate the end of it, so let's just flick them all anyway, and let's see if that exit door opens. And finally, yep, now we move on to that third level. So we have now completed the second level, we've got a few guns as well. So now we move on. It's a different landscape with virtually every level. This one being the third level, it's now a water landscape, so that's something else we'll have to negotiate. So if this isn't a true 3D game, it tried to be, we're going to figure out how now to progress in this water. We can hold our breath forever, and as long as there are steps to get out of this pool, we can actually get out of it. There doesn't appear to be much down here, but we do have a new weapon, so it was worth it. And this is now the plasma launcher, just like Doom. So now the weapons are really building up now. We can really start to explore this game. There is no music, the sound effects make up for that. As we start getting through those levels, the action will start to get packed, and that means the constant sound effects will be ramping up all over the place, and that gives this an immense atmosphere. And that's why lovers of this game comment daily on not only the level design again, but the tremendous atmosphere that this game creates, and definitely the lighting and things like that really helps. So look at that, we've now found another chamber, we've managed to get some more rockets, and definitely exploring everything really helps. So let's not waste any ammo, won't be wasting any ammo hopefully in this game. Oh, look at that, a massive old rocket launcher. If you put that rocket launcher on, that cuts out a lot of the screen, and that's pretty difficult to fire that when most of the enemies might be attacking us from the side and the rear. So I don't think the rocket launcher is much good unless you're facing those cacodemons. The basic shotgun is powerful, but it's really slow. But if you don't want to waste ammo, that's definitely a good fallback. And now it starts beaming us all over that level. Definitely the lighting effects is one good thing about this game, and anybody who thought maybe Doom was a little bit flat and a little bit boring, and some other games as well, well, they have gone some trouble with this one to create some nice fast water effects and some nice fast graphics as well. I'm playing this with the 040. If you play this on the 030, obviously, well, it's virtually just as good, but you really need something like an expanded 1200 with fast RAM to experience this game at full frame rate. If you have at least a 25 MHz A1200, then players say it's very playable. situations like this, it's a good job that we've got infinite ammunition, because we'd have run out of ammunition by now. And it's those kinds of toggling weapons in an emergency kind of thing which kind of ruins this, because it means you have to rely on different weapons and juggle them and then run out of ammo and run out of ammo. And guess what? If you run out of ammo on all of your weapons, you might not have any ammo left to take out these stupid bosses. And that means that you have to be on target. And the ammunition, I think the rockets are also seeking, so that can definitely help. Have we to explore this area? Is there anything down here? There is a bit of ammo, bit of ammunition. It's worth checking the walls as well, because as we've already seen, sometimes the walls can hide all kinds of goodies, and this game isn't difficult as far as the health goes. We don't get any health options like easy, medium and hard like some games, and not like Doom where we get maybe 5 different difficulty options. And so vitality isn't the problem, it's simply the ammo or the lack of it. And that's one of the infuriating things, so rather than let that spoil my review, that's why I've put infinite ammo on. I'm not sure what Andy Clitheroe went on to after this, but definitely Alien Breeze 3D2 that we've reviewed, he went on to that, and all the team behind this game went on to that, and maybe is now working on the PC with all these 3D games, and this is definitely a step up. The first level is definitely the most boring, but after you get through that, you get through into these kinds of things, where you're shooting at things from underwater and things like that. So it has got a variety on offer. This is a very difficult trap because, of course, well, difficult puzzle because you have to press this button and then rush over to the other side and then press the other one and then rush to the exit and open it up. And if you do that quickly enough before all the buttons disappear and they stop lighting up, then you can open the exit. It's not easy, and it took me a few tries to get this right. With run mode it really helps, and yes, you can also duck in the game, so you can run and duck but you can't actually jump. Now on to level 4, the courtyard. So it gives you that long password, but it doesn't give you any score in this game, so you can't play this game for a high scoring run or even a time attack. There is no figures on the screen whatsoever, just a load of bars, and bars are represented by the vitality and the ammunition, but also the keys as well. Do the thing which seems a wasted opportunity. You can see a heart right in the middle on the bottom of that screen. It would have been a good idea to make that beat faster when the action is going on. Instead of a Doom guy looking around, we could have a heart beating, and the heart is simply a symbol, and that's absolutely useless in this game. I think let's mess around, let's see if we can find any more weapons. I think we've got 5 or 6 of them now. You saw a little lighting glitch as the sun went down and then came back up again. Apart from that, this game isn't heavy on the bugs, and except for the steps bug and the steps problem that I mentioned before, and getting trapped in the first pool on the first level without any steps to get out of it, Apart from that, the game does not insult the player, and it just leaves them to get on with the action. Because this game features more outdoor areas than Doom, sometimes it's more difficult to kill things flying around, although the later successive levels and the patches of Doom really opened it out. So this is a lot more open than Fears, because in Fears it's generally indoors. Even though the landscapes are open, you don't tend to get sun and clouds and things like that. So they have put things in the background and put things in the sky. And right now it's a puzzle game, so some of these shooters and some of these levels rely on killing everything on sight, and some of them rely on exploration, some of them even have a few puzzles involved. So I'm running backwards at the moment, pressing down on all the walls, seeing if I can find a yellow key. I can find a yellow door, but I can't seem to find a yellow key. It's great that the bodies hang around on the level as well, they don't just disappear, and that's fantastic. It means that we can see where we've been, and that means that we can see hopefully where we're supposed to go. So that's the green key card collected, and it looks like a circuit board in this game, which is a bit novel. And you can see, well, just looking for hidden areas, and the frame rate really keeps up with us as we're doing this, even though the graphics aren't much to write home about. And we'll to explore or have to go through, well, we can't because that requires a red key, so we're gonna have to go through. Let's see, and aha, green door. What's behind the green door? It's going to be instant death probably, and at this point the game actually taking it easy on the player by not really giving them many pits of death to deal with. No leaps of faith and no haphazard jumps either, so we don't really have to risk anything over pits of lava and exploring things on a time critical basis. The enemies don't really damage us either, which is a good job because we only get kind of one block of energy back with all those pickups. So if they did any more damage than that, then that would be a problem. So this game does not suffer from getting killed unnecessarily, taking too much damage from too much flak and too many enemies. No, the whole thing is the ammunition, and you might not have noticed many ammunition boxes floating around. That's one cartridge of missiles, and now the yellow key. So this game is tight on the ammo, and definitely I rate it down a bit for that. I don't think we can jump up here. I think these guys are just killing us willy-nilly, so that means we're going to have to go back to the teleport, and we're going to have to go back and see if we can't go around this level the long way. And that would be great if I could remember the way to go. I don't know if there's a map in this game. Usually on these games by now I've pulled up a map to show me where to go, and maybe there is. For the meantime I've managed to find the yellow key, but I've completely turned my back on that yellow door, which is a bit crazy. This is a dead end, so maybe I'll get the idea eventually. That's why some of these levels, they can take 10 minutes to play them if you know what to do, and if you don't know where you're going, they can take twice as long. Let's walk back, hopefully towards something which resembles the way to go. Here we go, the yellow door, And now, if we investigate, well, is that something alive down there? No, it's a dead body. Is there anything in here? Have we cleared this area? No, we haven't. And we are running out of health. Ah, that's the bridge, I think, over where we needed to go. So does that, yes it is, so does that mean now that somehow, in some way, down those steps maybe, and is there anything down there? Is there anything around here? It's also great to see the chunks of body parts flying around and the blood as well, reminding us of Gloom, and the splattery effect and the sound effect isn't quite as good as Gloom. With Gloom you could just romp through it gung-ho and have a massive time killing everything, and that's why for me Gloom, or at least the later ones, are some of the best that I've played on the Amiga of this type of shooter. And I have a respect for Gloom, but other people have more respect for other ones. Definitely games like Namak 4 and Alien Breed 3D 2 tried to stretch this formula as far as it would go, and with Alien Breed 3D 2 it wasn't even possible to run it on a fast Amiga. At that time even an 040 was struggling to play it. So they did try to look into the future, and now of course with emulation you can have these things running as fast as you like. And at the moment I'm trying to kill these things without running out of energy and health as fast as I like. And even with infinite ammo on, sometimes it's still a matter of sneaking around those corners. And that's some vital ammo after we've destroyed virtually everything on the level. It's now providing us with the ammo to kill it that we needed in the first place, and we're already full, so that's not a problem. We've got the green and we've got the yellow, so does that mean now, and we've got the blue as well. And it looks like instant death again in this room. And spraying those enemies isn't effective. Definitely the rocket launcher is effective in this game. It's actually a lot more effective than in the sequel. Now, just a small problem of finding the exit. Maybe we still need to find the red key, but now having played this for some time, you can more or less guarantee now that we're towards the end of the level. So we need to find the exit, and we need to find our way through to it. And teleports, that's always a bad situation because they could teleport us anywhere. Some of those are great and some of those are a complete waste of time. Many of the comments on the Lemon Amiga website said that their machine was struggling to play this game. It seemed it was too slow on an expanded Amiga 1200. The graphics weren't defined enough and not high enough resolution, and I personally would complain about the ammo. So there are plenty of comments about this on Lemon Amiga, but not too many magazine reviews. Unfortunately, I've no idea why, but in 1995, not many magazines actually reviewed this. Taking a look at those magazine scores, the lowest score went to Amiga magazine, who awarded Alien Breed 3D AGA a huge 70%. The current score on Lemon Amiga is a slightly better 78%. Amiga Power awarded this game 91. Amiga Computing also gave this game 91, CEO Amiga and Amiga Format gave this 93% and an award, and The One, of course, who always awards things top marks, gave this game 94%, saying it would be difficult to better this on an Amiga. That means the average score for this game is around about 88, but I'm going to round that up to 9 out of 10. Alien Breed 3D is virtually nothing to do with the original Alien Breed at all. You're just going around shooting stuff. But it's a great license, and I actually appreciate this more than the sequel, because with the sequel it's pretty big and long and convoluted, and even though you've got tons of things to do, it's not actually jumping, diving action like this game. And in this game all the missions are very easy, and you don't have any really difficult blasting hard situations either. So that means you can romp through the levels, and you can enter that password however many times that you like, and you can play it. So this is level 5. This is the final level I'll be showing you in this play guide, or at least getting through, and I think it says System Purge on the top, so that means something to do with maybe a computer system. You can see we can change the control options from this point as well, and the game options. So this is it now. The training missions are over, we're now moving into the harder missions. Now it introduces us to walkways like Star Wars, and it means that we're going to have to run through some death zones in order to get through this. And again, if you've got the infinite ammo on, it's a joy, but if we're having to backtrack for ammo every 3 seconds because you've run out, it isn't. So it just means that I can explore, and look at that. Sometimes there are traps on the level, and some of these barrels don't even blow up. So I've got rid of that, and I think maybe that's a special door, and well, definitely we'll have to fit down these narrow corridors again. The sound of the aliens was taken from the movie An American Werewolf in London, and apparently they mixed up lots and lots of animal noises to create that sound effect, including elephants trumpeting and dogs growling and things like that. So it sounded like it came from a werewolf, and that sound effect has been used in various shapes and sizes over the years, including the Arcadia song Election Day. The same sound effect for the werewolves was again reused in the sequel. We've now found a room of death, and And sometimes it's possible to kill a few things before you fall down there to your death. When you've got half the energy left, this would seem the steps down there. Do we risk it? Well, it appears like there's no other choice, so I'm going to have to face some kind of doom in the game. So let's drop down onto that level again, and let's see if we can find our way around to it. And that's the red door, so at least we know now that we're looking for a red key. You can see this level runs on multi-levels, so maybe there isn't even a map for this, and it really would have been handy to have some kind of a map, but that would have slowed the game down. The music of this game was created by Bjorn Lin, and you might remember he created the music many classic titles on the Amiga, and Escape from Colditz as well was a Bjorn Lin title. Unfortunately, if you use any Bjorn Lin music in any of your game reviews, he'll automatically say all the money from this is going to go to me. So because there's a tiny bit of his music, all the revenue is going to him because it contains his music. And that's not particularly fair, because not a cent's going to Andy Clitheroe, who actually programmed it, but because that is YouTube policy, unfortunately he got a copyright on it, although it isn't a YouTube strike. It's these kind of situations again which spoil this game and stop it from being immaculate, and maybe the magazine reviewers overlook these kind of head-banging situations when this game is sprawling, and it's meant to do this to make the player wander around and investigate all the areas. So I have a red key to find now and a yellow key to find, and I'm having no joy whatsoever with that. And it would help if we didn't keep falling off things. So we're now coming to the end of this review, and I did enjoy it this very first time playing the game, even though wandering around like this, definitely by this point I was saying, right, that's it, this is the final level I'm going to get to, because I'm wandering around fruitlessly, and so as soon as I complete this I'm going to switch the video off. So it doesn't have amazing gameplay, and I wouldn't rate it as much as 90% for certain, but people that love this game really rate it highly, and I'd probably, well, definitely a 7.5, maybe even an 8. So the current Lemon Amiga score of 78 is above 7.5, and it's between 7.5 and 8, so that's not bad actually. I'd probably agree with that. After running down tons of these identical looking corridors forever, perhaps the exit is in plain sight all along? I've no idea. I seem to have completed it. Well, I seem to have pressed the F key actually to skip on to that next level. There's no computers to hack in this game except for in the storyline. So this is the final level. So let's just have a quick look at this before we switch it off. And it appears to be another underground one with great textures on the floor and on the ceiling as well. And it looks like we've died again. So thank you for watching this Amiga play guide. You don't really need to know much about the game except for memorising all those keyboard controls, and there isn't much to it. You just get in there and blast things and press a few buttons. So I do have respect for this game, certainly more than I ever did for it back in the day. And if you have a fast CPU, this is one of the games that really shines with a fast CPU, even though you can't have this full screen like many of the games that we've seen. So thank you for viewing this play guide, and we'll see you again in another one sometime soon. Thank you.